Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Remedy Farm Health Minutes. I'm your host, Amina, the pharmacist in charge here at the Remedy Farm. Of course, I have Susan with me, my clinical nutritionist. So today we wanted to take a step back and talk about your immune system. I think this might be a second video, but it's really important because flu season's upon us. We've been dealing with COVID-19 all year, and it's really great to, have that fighting power with us and enhance our immune system. I don't know any other ways of saying it.
Yeah, so you don't want to really rev up your immune system, especially we've learned that with COVID, that whole cytokine storm, people are having worse reaction if their immune system is too much on guard. Mm-hmm. So you want it resilient, you want it strong, but not supercharged.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
And the less things your immune system has to fight, inflammation. So almost everyone is inflamed to some degree. So if you're overweight or have diabetes or heart problems or joint pain or gum disease, bleeding gums, any body pain, that's all sign of inflammation. And so your immune system is trying to fight that off, and the more it's out, it's like the more your soldiers are out doing other battles, the less
not enough.
Right. So just staying as healthy as you can to keep your immune system, on guard if need be. But now, besides the COVID, the whole pandemic, we are getting into cold and flu season.
Cold and flu season, yes. How much fun is that?
So there are, the things we've talked about 100 times. Get enough sleep.
Lots of water, stay
well
hydrated.
A good diet.
Exercise
to get oxygen. Low sugar, try to limit the sugar that you eat, because sugar directly inflames your body and brings down your immune system. So that's a big one that, we're getting into the holidays now, and so the sweets are going to be coming out, but just keep that in mind. But other than that, there are a lot of products that you can take, a lot of preventative things, and then some more heavy hitters if you do start to come down with some symptoms.
Okay, let's start with the easy ones, I like to say. The first one's top of mind: vitamin C, zinc. What else is there? There's
vitamin D3.
Oh yeah, vitamin D3. Those are like kind of the trio that everyone's been talking about this whole year. Let's start there. What do you think? What are your thoughts on vitamin C?
So vitamin C is an antioxidant. It helps with something called free radicals, if you're familiar with that. It just keeps inflammation down. It keeps our immune system strong. Vitamin E is another antioxidant. So as you've heard me say a million times, the more plants you can eat, the more fruits and vegetables, the more antioxidants are in those foods. Green leafy vegetables, if you're not a big vegetable eater, fruit eater, there are the green powders you can take. There are vitamin C supplements, which is kind of a good thing to do.
On vitamin C supplements, and we've gone over this a lot of times too. You have those vitamin C chewables that you find everywhere, and then you also have what we carry here.
Right.
And what's the big difference between that, and what do we carry?
So vitamin C is there are a couple of two different forms. There's the liposomal, which we hear a lot about, that helps get the vitamin C into the cell.
And that's the one that we have. Yes,
we have that. Well, we have a lot of different ones, but that's an important one. And then vitamin C from food, or a food-based supplement.
Okay.
So if you look at it, it'll say from vitamin C from acerola cherries or rose hips or amala berry, camu berry. That's the kind of supplement you want, because it's got all the other ingredients that the vitamin C molecule needs to work in our body.
Right.
Bioflavonoids is a big one that you don't get in just the ascorbic acid.
Oh yeah, and you see that word thrown around a lot.
Right.
Bioflavonoids,
So ascorbic acid is really not equal to vitamin C. They're two different things. Ascorbic acid is part of the vitamin C molecule, so you need the whole food to get all the compounds in it.
It's good to know. Yeah. Okay, so zinc. Zinc has been huge this year.
Zinc is huge, and we heard a lot about zinc with the COVID.
Absolutely. We even make a zinc lozenge here at the pharmacy. It's 12.5 milligrams of zinc, and it also has ascorbic acid in it, 100 milligrams of that. And then we were talking earlier, and she mentioned that quercetin is a really great product to help zinc absorb better. Am I right?
So they're finding, just like with vitamin D3, you've probably heard that you need vitamin K2 along with vitamin D3 to help the vitamin D3 work better, to absorb better. And zinc is the same with quercetin. It actually helps the zinc cross that cell barrier.
Okay.
And that's important because the virus invades our cell, and then multiplies, and that's how we get sick.
Right.
So if it can't penetrate, then it can't get into the cell and multiply and make us sick. So that's a good preventative measure. So the quercetin with the zinc makes the zinc work way better.
That's great. And then you can find them both over here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. What else is there on your list?
There is a supplement made by Pure Encapsulation that has both of them in it.
Perfect.
So, if you want to cut down on the pills you're taking. Vitamin D3 and K2, we talked about, so important for immune health. Thought is that cold and flu season is worse in the winter because there's less sunshine in most areas. In California, we have plenty of sun, but a lot of people don't get out in the sun.
Right. And if they do, it's not enough for your body to do its thing and get it.
So it's really good to supplement with that, especially during this time. Vitamin D levels, it's good to have them checked when you're having blood work done. That's the best way to know where you stand.
Where your baseline is, yeah. And if you want to take a vitamin D3 supplement on a daily, what are you looking? Because I've seen D3 on the market at 1,000 mics, I've seen 2,000, I've seen 5,000, and even the D3 is available as 50,000 for the week.
Right.
When do you know which one to take?
Again, that comes down to blood work. So the lower your levels are in your blood, the higher levels you want to take to get that up. You want, and there's some controversy here too in the functional medicine world, you want the vitamin D levels between 60 and 80. Typical range is like from 30 to 80, I think, but that's pretty broad.
That is pretty broad.
So in functional medicine, the parameters are much narrower. So between 60 and 80. So depending on where you are where your blood levels are, depends on what you need.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of safe to say that most people probably need a little bit.
Even living in California.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So glutathion is another one. We've talked so much about glutathion. In fact, on the radio show, there's a whole hour show on.
I'm just on glutathion, our master antioxidant. If I learned anything that day, master antioxidant glutathion.
It's really worth checking out. I would really recommend going and checking that out.
And what makes glutathion so amazing?
It just is needed for so many different functions in the body. Things like vitamin C, vitamin E are antioxidants, but they're used up and then they're gone.
Right.
So glutathion
it regenerates itself. And not only itself, it helps other antioxidants be maintained as well.
And it's
which is really super
antioxidant found inside the cell. So that's important. It helps drain toxins from our body. It helps liver, which is a very, very important organ to help keep, it's responsible for so many things. We can do a whole show on that.
Oh, absolutely. But bottom line is glutathion is great. It helps your immune system. It helps detoxification. It does so many different things. You can't have too much of it.
It's anti-aging. It'll help keep you young. It helps keep your skin beautiful. I mean, it just does so many things.
It has a lot of different things. And it's one of those that you don't have to test it beforehand. I mean, everybody's body makes it. You may not be making as much as you need. As we get older, just naturally we make less and less.
Just like everything.
Just like everything. So it's good to have, and we do sell it here as a transdermal spray.
Right, because it doesn't absorb very well as a supplement.
Yeah, you don't want to take that by mouth.
Yeah.
So you just spray it on a couple times a day, like 3-4 sprays, 2 times a day, sometimes a lot more, depending on where you're at.
The recommended dose is 4 sprays twice a day.
Yeah, and that'll be for at least for a few months, and you see a lot of you see the difference.
You see and feel the difference.
And you feel the difference, it gives you more energy. It's just
it's great for brain health, all kinds of things.
And you can't just rely, just like everything else, you can't rely on just the supplementation and stuff like that.
Right.
You have to help it too, right? So you want to be exercising. You really don't want, you want to be sleeping, being in an appropriate way, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, hopefully this is helping and kind of, empowering you to make those decisions. Just take a small walk. It doesn't have to be like a marathon.
Right, and you don't have to go work out in the gym for an hour and lift weights and, just a walk is great.
Yeah, and even walking with your arms behind your back, like, see how, like, your whole chest opens up and you can breathe deeper just naturally without putting any effort forth. It really does. It really does. When I heard that once, I was like, oh my God, that is so true.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people use those walking sticks. It kind of
that opens up your whole.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's great. So it doesn't have to be
little off topic here, but it's all so important. Okay, what's next?
So turmeric and curcumin is a big one.
Yeah.
Great anti-inflammatory, great for boosting the immune system, great for brain health. It's another one of those things that it just, the more they research it, the more good things
it's been gaining a lot of popularity over the last couple of years as well, and rightfully so. It's a spice. It's used in a lot of South Asian cooking, and otherwise as well. What's the difference between turmeric and curcumin? Let's tell the listeners.
So curcumin is one of the compounds in turmeric. Turmeric's the root, the yellow root, and curcumin is one of the compounds. And curcumin's probably been the most studied compound of turmeric. But there are other compounds in turmeric that are also really good. So, I kind of recommend both. I cook with
that was my
turmeric,
next question, actually.
I cook with turmeric a lot. I sprinkle turmeric powder on my coffee grounds, along with ginger and cinnamon to have a little antioxidant drink in the morning. Something that I've started adding is mushroom powder, which is another one that I'm going to go. It's just become my favorite health.
One more thing I wanted to say about turmeric before we get off that topic. And it was good that you told us the difference between turmeric and curcumin, because some people ask, like, hey, should I take the curcumin supplement or should I take the turmeric or should I take both? So it's good that you went over that.
Yeah.
Turmeric tastes really good if you just mix like half teaspoon or something in like warm milk.
Yeah.
Add some like
milk.
Yes, the golden milk. How'd you know? So golden milk is really great. It tastes good.
Yeah.
And I even like chop up some almonds or something and put that in there as well, to be honest. And I think it tastes so good.
Yeah,
and you feel it too. It's
do.
weird, but you feel it after a couple of days that, hey, I took something and it makes me feel really good.
Hippocrates said, however many years ago, let food be thy medicine, and that's so true. Yeah. That's so true.
Okay, you mentioned the mushrooms.
So mushrooms are my very favorite, probably right now. Health, both food and supplement. The mushroom, the fruiting body, which is the part of the mushroom that grows out of the ground or off the tree, is what we cook with.
Right.
So that has huge benefits, and there's many different varieties of mushrooms, and they all have different health promoting benefits. Some are antiviral, some are antibacterial, some are antifungal, even though mushroom is a fungus. It works against things like candida and some of the funguses that cause problems. So don't be scared of mushrooms if you do have a fungal overgrowth. They're helpful. Great for brain health, great for, we just did a program being Cancer Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There's a lot of medical studies done on how helpful mushrooms, maitake in general, or in specific, and reishi for breast cancer and cancer help.
What I'll do is in the description below we'll put a link to that talk as well, so you guys can check that out, because that was really great.
Studies are showing, they're so helpful for the immune system in general. But there's the fruiting body, there's the mycelium, which is kind of the roots and what grows underground. That's actually where all the nutrients from the soil are absorbed. And then there are the spores. So you don't get that in the fruiting body. So cook with, as many different mushrooms as you can, all the different kinds, but also the mushroom supplements. I like the variety of supplements, so you get all the different kinds. Comes in powders. You can add it to coffee, you can add it to tea, you can add it to your foods. But that is great. And just a little personal side story, I've been doing the reishi mushrooms powder in my coffee, and I'm an avid cyclist, but I haven't been riding my bike through the summer with all this COVID stuff. So I just got out last weekend. I was a little nervous. I thought, I'd really be struggling, and I felt so strong on my bike, and that's the only difference I did was the reishi mushrooms.
That's really awesome.
So it really helps with your stamina, your energy. I can't say enough good things about them.